Hi, my name is Rhonda Moore, and this is my resurrection story. I was born in Waverly. I had wonderful parents, Josephine and Clifton Wheeler. I have 3 brothers, and I'm kind of blessed with 3 brothers because they took up for me. Being the only daughter, I kind of got away with a little bit more than they did. I had a wonderful childhood. We ended up moving to McEwen on a little farm. Our family was, I guess, a normal family. We didn't go to church all the time, but my mother I can always remember her in the back room, and she was reading her Bible all the time, and she prayed all the time. With 3 boys, you kind of have to be a prayer warrior. And with just 1 girl, I was mean as a snake. I remember when I was probably in my late teens, we went to a Pentecostal church at that time. And I remember there was an altar call. The Lord seemed like He just took His hand and came all over me. And it was like everybody says, it seemed like I was a new person at that time. And I just felt different when I left the church. He's just been there with me all the time. And, there were times that I didn't obey what God maybe wanted to call me, but He didn't give up on me at all. And I had some anger issues going on, and just because I was angry, and I don't know what it was, but He has calmed me down. I mean, He has been there for me. After high school, I got married not too long afterwards, and we were married for about 3 years, and then we separated. We just could not get along, and so we ended up getting divorced. And I have a lot of issues with trust. I'm kind of shy, and at one time somebody broke my trust, and that was hard on me. That was hard, but the Lord brought me through it and showed me that I could trust Him with everything I do. I got a job in Nashville, and that was my career. I moved up from like a word processing operator up to HR, and I stayed there for 30 years. I moved there to Nashville for a few years, and then I came back because I thought, the drive wasn't that bad, and it wasn't. I found friends. I found a lady who became a good friend. Her name is Cindy. She's a preacher. And so it took an hour to get there. And so we would sing, and she would have her little preaching moment, and we would just praise the Lord all the way to work. And so that was an enjoyable time. And we kind of kept on each other's toes. And we would actually pray for people at work. And they would accept it. Well, I met Terry on a blind date. We had a mutual friend that rode with me back and forth to work and transferred to Terry's office back in McEwen. Kim came up to me and said, "Hey, are you dating or anything?" And I'm going, "No." She said, "Do you want to date or anything?" And I said, "Well, yeah, I think I'm ready." I had been divorced for 11 years. And during those 11 years, I was happy. So, never saw Terry before. And so we met. He called me, and we actually talked for an hour, I think, or so. The people who have guided me in my life that have been very important to me, that helped me see God, has been my parents. Terry, I was, again, like a holiday going to church, Easter, Christmas, just anything like that. And if Mom invited me, I would come. And when Terry and I got married, it kind of shifted because he went to church all the time. Through his mom, we started going back to church. And he said, I want to find a church that I can go to, so I'd stay in the habit of going and hear preaching. And so that's when it made a difference in my life to start being, the church being the most important thing to do. Just different people over the years, their actions of how they present God to everybody and how they react just in worship. And now this church has a very important place in my heart. When our daughter was born, Laura, Terry and I had been married a little over a year. We wanted Laura to have a Christian life so that she would come to know the Lord. When she was born and we had her christened, I gave her to the Lord at that time. So He's always been with her. As Laura has grown up in the church, she has become independent and she has chosen to serve. It's just a relief to know where she will be and that hopefully she will continue and God will still tug at her to become what He wants her to be. There was things that came about that we needed to have a new church. And so we were just sitting and talking, and Barbara Horner called and said, hey, where are y'all going? And so we talked about that for a little bit, and she says, we've been going to the Nazarene church. And then Laura had gone somewhere for the day, and she come back and she says, Mom, why don't we go to the Nazarene church? And so we're looking at each other and we're saying, okay, this is a God thing. It really has enhanced our lives, and by everybody loving each other, not that the other churches didn't, but this is just a genuine church that believes solely in Jesus. It's just home. It's just home. And God is in it all the time. Spiritual life today with the Lord is totally different when I was younger. I didn't really care if I came to church at all. And now we can't wait to get to church. I'm not a reader. So I know it's late in life, but it's not too late for anything in life. God is always there. We've been really studying our Sunday school lessons. We get the devotionals out, which are awesome. And then the lesson, we go over that twice. And that has really helped me. And I know it's helped Terry. There's a group that I found out about, and they called them the Golden Foldies. And I can fold letters. And then it happened to be my birthday one day, and so they sung Help Me Rhonda. And I thought that was cool too.
But help me Rhonda, help me Rhonda, help me Rhonda, help me Rhonda.
During meals, it just seems like that's where I need to be, serving and helping and doing wherever. And then I help occasionally with the young group down there, and Miss Kelsey asked me occasionally to come down there and do that, and that's fun. That's fun. So God, He's had a hand in everything that's been done here. We just wanted to come to a church where we could serve at some level, and be it washing dishes. Then that's what I need to do, is wash dishes. I'm not going to come and not do anything. That's what you're here for, is to serve. I'm Rhonda. I have been crucified with Christ, and I no longer live, but Christ lives in me.